All of us have used a combination lock at some point in our lives, maybe for a screw locker or to secure a bike. I use them all the time. But let's be honest, have you ever wondered how they actually work? I didn't. To me, it was just magic. Spin the dial, enter some type of magic code, and voila, it pops open. Fast forward a few years, and that magic isn't enough anymore. I want to know the trick. Today we are going to dissect a combination lock in 3D to see what's really happening inside. And believe me, it's more clever than it seems. First, we find the body of the lock, the case, which houses and protects the internal mechanism. Next, we find the shackle, that U-shaped metal bar that keeps the lock shut, until you enter the correct combination, of course. But nothing works without the lever, an internal piece that turns when the shackle rises. This is a key movement. It unlocks the mechanism and frees the shackle. However, locks would be useless if they were single-use. Imagine opening it once and then throwing it away. A brilliant business idea if you sell locks. So we need the lever to snap back into its original position. Luckily, someone really smart found that solution. To use a piece of metal as a spring. This metal part generates the tension necessary so the lever is able to return to its original position. And if you're wondering, couldn't the lever spin out of control? First, I love your attention to detail. And second, don't worry, there's a small bump inside the case to prevent that movement. This keeps the lever exactly where we need it. When we close the lock, the shackle lowers and pushes an internal latch, which is also spring-loaded, into its slot. And voila, locked. To open it, the shackle goes up, the lever turns, and the latch is released. Knowing this lets you know what locks it again, right? Exactly. We just have to block the lever from spinning, so that only the right combination will let it move. But before that, we need to prevent the shackle from escaping. That's what the shackle guide does. It limits the shackle's movement and it stops it when it reaches the top. So how do we block the shackle and only open it with the right combination? Enter the 3 discs and the dial. First we find the back plate, which holds 3 discs which are separated by washers, and everything is under pressure by a spring that keeps everything tight. The 2 discs in the back rotate freely, but the first disc is attached to the dial, so when you spin the dial, that disc spins too. Here is how it all fits together. Each disc has a notch, and only when the 3 notches line up can the lever rotate freely and unlock the shackle. So, how do you line them up? Let's take a closer look at the design of the discs. As you can see, each disc has at least one teeth sticking out. We can see them better in this view. When you spin the first disc far enough, its bump collides with disc 2 and both turn together. Keep going and you will also pull disc 3. It's the chain reaction we need for aligning the disc from the dial. We are now really close to unlocking it. Let's go through entering the right combination. We start by spinning the dial clockwise until all discs move as one. Keep going until you reach the first number, which is 14 in our example. Perfect, you can see how the notch in disc 3 aligns. For the second number, 23, we spin the dial a full revolution counterclockwise, so the third disc drops off, leaving disc 1 and 2 moving freely. Then continue to the number 23, aligning disc 2 and 3. For the last number, 16, spin clockwise until the first notch aligns. So then all 3 notches line up perfectly. So the lever turns, the shackle lifts, and the lock clicks open. And you could be thinking, but why does my lock lock again when I close it? That's a good catch. The mechanism is designed so that when you push the shackle down, it moves the disc just enough to misalign them, which means that you cannot open it again without re-entering the right combination. On a final note, you should know that in many locks, factory set combination is fixed and sometimes even printed on the back. Not the most secure thing, if you ask me.